So Zahara Tamara, did I call it a mound? Now you talk about showing your age. The ball comes off the kicking tee. What is this, retro round? Here we go. Zahara Tamara kicks off, and the West Tigers have the ball as they bring it out from their own end. And the defence is very up there very quickly, I should say. Pass comes back into the centre. It hasn't taken them long, and off they go through McGlone, and McGlone's going to take the tackle about 25 her own side of the halfway line. And moving into dummy half is Noor. Comes out now from Piliai Rasambali. And Noor gets into dummy half once again as McGlone plays the ball. And it goes across for Tongatuki, who of course we have seen at origin level again for the New South Wales side. Out for Lutu, and then the great Kezi Apps, just her own side of the halfway line. Tackle 4, says our referee, and Apps plays it back to Noor once again, and then it comes across to Christian Pio. Over the halfway line she goes. She's lost that, and it'll be the Raiders playing it through Dummett. Then it comes across to Samaima Taufa, so the Raiders immediately go on the attack.
Yeah, good defence, Maroon. Really good defence through the middle, and you have to be careful with Pio because she can get that arm free for the offload, which she might have been trying to do, and the Raiders obviously have that on their tip sheets.
So now the Canberra Raiders go inside the 30. This is Zahara Tamara. And then Shante Tamara moves into dummy half. Comes back to Dodd, and it ends up with Lutu. Now Nichols has it. Ball comes out to Wiki, and Mackenzie Wiki, the daughter of the great Ruben, is going to play it 10 metres out. Nichols is a dummy half once again. Back to Lutu, puts a kick into the in-goal area. Oh, well, the wind got behind that and sent that almost into the front row of the grandstand back there.
Yeah, she botched that one, Ash Quinlan.
In the middle.
She was facing the wrong way and everything, hips, shoulders. She needed to face that cross-field kick, but a good opportunity for the Tigers because they had a lot of momentum that set, the Raiders.
Tigers get the ball back from a 20-metre restart. It's a very good afternoon on the sideline to you, Marley Silva.
Yes, good afternoon, Maroon. It is very, very cold down here on the sideline. It's 13 degrees, but feels like 8. The Raiders brought the Canberra weather with them. The sun is shining, however, and as we just saw with that kick, there is a strong breeze as the Tigers get the penalty here, coming from behind the Raiders in this first half with 24 kilometres an hour.
Thank you, Marley. 24 kilometres an hour. It's a fair old breeze. West Tigers get the first penalty of the game. And this time, well, from the middle of the field, Rue, we are going to see them kick for touch into the breeze.
Yeah, I don't know why they did, though. Look at that.
Oh, dear. Well, that hasn't gone within 15 metres of the sideline.
Look at Noddy's face.
Yeah, he will be unimpressed with that.
no.
That's, you just have to be really smart when you're kicking. It's coming from the southwest, so the way she was angling, she was kicking directly into the teeth of the breeze.
Tamara, Taufa, that passed it marginally forward for the Raiders. Taufa will take the tackle. And, well, we've got 2 penalties. Penalty already. Remembering, of course, the Raiders have that massive breeze at their back. What do they do here? Just take the tap, have a little kick for touch?
I think they'd be
Play it
setting up,
smart.
play a tap,
Yeah.
set it up, find their point, play off the back of it.
Okay, this is Kelly Sines. And Kelly Sines is going to play it for the Raiders with Shante. Tamara getting into dummy half. Then goes across to Zahara Tamara. Apps was the defender there as they go out to their right side once again. Tamara and Nichols. Oh, she almost just snuck through there, but Lutu was quick to bring it down to 2, just a couple of metres out. At the play, the ball, it comes back to Zahara Tamara once again. Looks for Quinlan. Quinlan's got Wiki. Wiki gets out of a tackle. Offloads to Bartlett. Well, the Raiders go over in the opening minutes. Wow, what a start for the Green Machine.
Well, wasn't that good footy and a great last pass by Ricky, but what the Raiders did brilliantly in the lead up to that was they just stretched the Tigers' defence. They've got great width in their footy. A lot of it coming off the back of Zahara Tamara, as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay. They went to the right. She swings back to the left to set it up, and just that hit and spin. I don't know how she got the arm free, Rue, but she found her winger. But just great footy in setting that up in the lead up.
What was more impressive, that it was her left arm that she actually offloaded it, and it wasn't usual as you swing around the corner offload where you can use your momentum. She was actually going against it all to try and fling it out backwards. So she did so well, but the actual setup for me was what looked really nice. Their edge back row was set up in a nice shape off the ball player, but they had a staircase set up with their centre wing. So they stepped behind one another, and that was what really made it, because they swung out last minute, caught out the Tigers' defence on the edge.
Quite often we say we want to see the halves link up, and the Raiders did it brilliantly there. Zahara Temera, first receiver, just linking up with Ash Quinlan so they could get that shift executed in the right fashion, but they are playing some brilliant footy early on, the Raiders.
Yeah, Zahara Temera will line this one up. Just a couple of metres in from touch, but they get the dream start after just inside 5 minutes. They get the first try. To the winger, Madison Bartlett in the corner. So she's taken a heck of a long time with this one.
She was waiting for a tee for a while, I think, Maroon.
Okay. We could have given Marley Silver the tee to take it out to her. Now, Tamara. You can't have a committee meeting out there. This seems like an eternity waiting for this kick. Here she comes now. Tamara moves in. Oh, it's going to have the distance. Yeah. Is it? Oh, she's kicked. 6-0.
She was kicking right into it. It was right on the face. Not even the beat. It was absolutely
I don't think we have one. Yeah, mate, I got ya. Whoever got a timer up here. That's right. Oh, we should make sure to kick off timer. Right.
And not the start Brett Kamali was looking for at all. A botched kick for touch for the West Tigers. They turn the ball over to the Canberra Raiders, and the Raiders do the rest. There's the kickoff. It's going to be, are they going to keep it in the field of the play? Well, they do, but only just.
It's a great way to place the kick, because the Raiders in that corner are looking directly at the sun at this point of the day.
Now, back toward the centre of the field for Hollyman, who's going to take the tackle. And getting up to play it back to Shante Tamara, then Taufa. She ran into the West Tigers defence, and she's almost come out the other side.
Rue, we miss seeing Samaima throughout the origin, but she's back.
Yeah, she's hit her straps. Always a very physical player. She really loves that ruck run, right in behind the ruck. That's her bread and butter.
Now we come to Lutu, and then it ends up in the hands of Wiki once again. Oh, geez, I tell you what, she's a handful. And Horn did well to stop her. At the play, the ball. Bartlett again back to Lutu, and down it goes with a kick. Oh, they've made a mess of it, and Zamara Tamara is there to clean it up. So a fresh set of 6 for the Raiders. They're on the attack again inside the 10. They'll go short side. Yes, they do. It ends up with Bartlett. This time she puts the other winger over in the corner. It's a try to Alana Dummett. What a start for the Canberra Raiders.
And very fitting that Alana Dummett comes up with the 4 points in the end, because she's the one that actually stopped the ball from going out off the kickoff. She did very, very well to get herself into a position to make sure that ball didn't travel out. Here on the Harvey Norman replay, it was on all day. The Tigers were scrambling on their left edge defence. Zahara Temera did very well to shut that, or to dive on that ball and get the quick play the ball. And it's a lovely pass to finish it off by Arpy Nichols.
Yeah, they did a great job as well going back to that short side. Obviously, miscommunication with the kick, so they weren't organised. They certainly weren't looking confident in that space, but I thought Robbins Reddy did a brilliant job. She jumped into dummy half and just knew that that was the way they needed to go, made the call, linked up with her fullback, and great work to execute off the back of that error.
So Zahara Tamara from now the opposite side of the field for Zahara Tamara to add the extra. She might have a word to the wingers about maybe trying to just bring them in a couple of metres. But she kicked a beauty from the sideline only 3 minutes ago. And what a start it is for the Canberra Raiders. Now 8.5 gone. And the 5'8" now has one last look at the posts, and some real serious looks on the faces of some of the West Tigers players at the moment. It's been a horror start for them. And a home game 2 in round 1. Here comes Zahara Tamara. Oh, it's fallen off the mound. It's just not going to script. They need, this is what they need.
They need sand.
They need the old-fashioned way, or get somebody to hold the ball up and risk a broken finger. In fact, here as we speak, across comes Madison Bartlett. She's going to do just that. She's going to put her hand on top of the ball.
It is a very, very strong wind coming from the southwest, so.
Wouldn't you? I mean,
Supple, equable.
you just wouldn't want to do that with your finger while someone's taking a goal kick, would you?
What a teammate. So good.
Now, here comes Tamara. Moves in. I tell you what, it's not a bad kick. No good. 10-0 Raiders.
Hey, Elise, are we able to get any vision of the goalpost?
Girls, away for the timer. Just got 10 seconds. Just wait. Pauline, just wait.
And here we are live at Campbelltown, and for the second time we see the ball coming off the tee in what is an amazingly strong wind. And we'll ask Marley Silver more about that shortly, but she's already told us the strength of that breeze at the back of the Canberra Raiders for the first half of this game. There's the kickoff. Oh, it's gone out on the full. So just genuinely a horror start for the Tigers. They'd be saying, can we just go back and start again?
Yeah, they just want to get into the grind a little bit, I think, the Tigers.
No, it's not quick.
But some of those, Marley did mention the wind was at 24 kilometres. Some of those gusts must be coming through a little bit more fierce than that.
Kelly Signs is brought down by McLean. We'll get up and play it back to Shante Tamara. This time it's Hollyman, who's always hard to stop. Apps has got hold of her, as is Pio. The West Tigers got a bit of work to do already. Taufer at first receiver. Lutu. Then the ball goes across to Soliola. She's into space. Sends one out to Wiggy. Oh, the Green Machine are scoring and scoring and scoring. 3 tries in 10 minutes.
Yeah, they look really good. Just their attacking shape, and it doesn't matter if it's on the first play of the ball or towards the back end of their sets. They've got such good attacking structure. We've spoken already a fair bit about Samaima Taufa, and she's the reason for this structure. We see here on the Harvey Norman replay, the kick, unfortunately, goes all wrong for the Tigers, which gives the Raiders this opportunity, and this is just that short ball playing and the nice shape out the back of the Raiders, but a lovely last pass to be able to execute it. But they look so dangerous, Roo, because they've got so many different moving parts. The line, the angle on that run was perfect, and the last pass, good footy.
It was, and that just shows that everybody understands what they're running and where they need to be to execute their job. It was just a simple middle play, a simple block play, and then the defence actually forces the decision, because I think it was Pilia Ayarasambale, she actually bites in, and that's what creates the space. But yet again, coming up with the right decision to hit the lead runner there was perfect. And didn't Soliola, Maroon, didn't she find that last pass beautifully?
Absolutely beautiful for the great Mona Lisa Soliola. To another famous name, Mackenzie Wickie, the daughter of Reuben. And now again we find Zahara Tamara on the sideline for the 3rd time in just over 11 minutes. The Raiders already out to 14-0. Now here is Tamara. And hits this one well. This one looks okay. If it's got the distance, over she goes. She can kick them. Sure.
Yep.
Wait, Pauline. Come on.
Been an interesting 12 minutes, if you like your tries, as the West Tigers get us underway again. Marley, let's check those conditions on the sideline from you once again.
Yes, we've seen this wind absolutely wreak havoc for the Tigers already, and what we can see on the forecast is actually picking up. It's getting stronger, and it will get, you know, much higher, above 30 kilometres an hour as we go through this game. It'll be interesting to see how it impacts the Raiders when they're running in the opposite direction in the second half.
Thank you. As we see Kelly Signs, and stopped there by Noor. And once again, Christian Pio played for Shante Tamara. Then Taufa got it away to Zahara Tamara. Runs into Kezi Apps. And they bring it down just her own side of the halfway line. Oh, now they're giving away a penalty. Dear, oh dear, what a horror start for the West Tigers.
They can ill afford to keep allowing piggybacks out of trouble here, the Tigers. Doesn't matter how good your defensive is, you constantly put yourselves under pressure like this, cracks will begin to show. So they just need to make sure they start getting those basics right, the Tigers.
Here are the Raiders again, only 25 metres out, with Shante Tamara getting the pass to Hollyman. It goes then to Taufa. Taufa gets away from one. But by gee, they're setting it up for another one here, the Green Machine. As it comes out to Lutu, gets a lovely pass away for the fullback Nichols, and she's brought down metres short. Then Tamara once again, she got an offload to Taufa. I'm sure it's Taufa who's gone over again right beside the posts. Well, look, I'm going to be fair dinkum. It's 20-0. I can't remember the Tigers having the ball, Alana.
No, they haven't. They haven't been able to build pressure at all. As we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, a great little setup. I think it was Ash Quinlan in the play the ball before that. Quick play the ball, and then just a nice little crash play. Roo, you'd love that one. A middle forward going over, but the setup, that pass from Ash Quinlan and the quick play the ball, that's good footy.
Yeah, I love it. And what I also love was back-to-back splitter plays. We saw Uppy Nichols almost sliced through on a splitter play, and they run the same thing with their forwards on the right side, and it was Samaima Taufa, who's been doing a lot more ball playing today. She's been sort of working as that link, finding her halves out the back. This one, she goes back to her, right back to her roots, what she was first well known for, just running hard, getting in tight. Just look at those goalposts, my goodness. No wonder people have been having to hold the footy, as Zahara Temara is calling for one of her teammates to come down and just hold the footy for her. I think Marley said it's clocking up over 33 kilometres an hour at the moment, and I had a quick look myself, and it says it's gusting at about 46 to 48 kilometres.
That's gross.
Wow. Well, those goalposts, I mean, at what point do you start worrying about them actually coming down? Dear, oh dear. Those linesmen, they should be getting danger money today. As Zahara Tamara lines up another one. Raiders have scored 20 points in 15 minutes of rugby league. West Tigers just want to start again as Tamara moves in and makes no mistake. 22-0 Raiders. And the West Tigers get us underway again. And this one's going to sit up for Tamara, and she gets a pass away for Dodd, who gets up and plays it back to Taufa again. Here's Taufa straight through the middle. What a horror start it is for the West Tigers. And this time it'll come to Kelly Signs. Surely some of those West Tigers defenders were offside, as Pio brings her down just her own side of the halfway line. Shante, Tamara, and then Soliola. Finally, the Raiders make a mistake, and the ball is with McGlone for the West Tigers. Can they strike back quickly with a try as Noor gets into dummy half, and then Tonga Tuki is met by some good strong defence by Taufa and company. This West Tigers side, they trailed by 20 already. Here's Pio. Hollyman's got her. And Dodd too. And now the West Tigers get a penalty.
come back through the ruck there.
So last time they had a penalty, they botched that kick for touch. They'll just take the tap here,
Yep, when you're ready.
20 metres out and virtually right in front.
That's a wise choice. Lesson learned.
Yes. Tongatuki.
Simone off the grid. Hold square. Wait, don't look her in.
And then out of dummy half, they come out to get the ball away to Vete Welsh, a very experienced campaigner in this West Tigers side. Played back to Noor. Then the pass went to Tongatuki, who took it on herself. But the ball's come loose, has it? No.
Yeah, 6 again it was, Maroon. Stripped by the Raiders defence.
Okay, Vete Welsh there at dummy half. And then for George, trying to bounce out of tackles and ricochet and keep going and pull down right in front of the post. So will they go left again? Okay, well, it's a quick play, the ball. And they've gone over Rue.
Yeah, this is really good work. Nevada George, we know she's a pocket rocket. She comes out firing every single time she gets the football. And what she does really well here, she comes back against the grain. We see this one must be an homage to the synchronised swimming, I believe. She comes back against the grain, and what she does perfectly, she fights hard for this quick play the ball. Or will they pull that back, saying she's taken the marker out? That's the only thing I've got a question mark over. The Harvey Norman replay shows it quite well.
Yeah, I hate to say I was thinking that, but I was thinking that. Let's have a look. Hang on, I think this one's going up. Yep.
Yeah. There's only one reason we're looking at the ref now.
We're just checking
Caroline
revision
Nolan.
on a ruck interference there.
Yeah, she got up so well, but it was the fact that she continued to push forward into the marker, Alana. That's what gave me the question mark.
Yeah,
We're not kidding.
so unfortunate. It was good ruck recognition from the
Now
hooker,
you're not coming up,
Noor.
it's just got me.
She took it one step too far, I think, Nevada George.
So I think, well, they're going to take this one away from them. And it does raise the question, though, Rue and Alana, should you be doing try celebrations when you are down 22-0?
As a coach, I'd be not happy. However, the try celebrations are for a great cause. So
Yes.
You're on screen now.
I'm a little bit in two minds about it. I don't think the referee, Caroline Nolan. Here you go. Yeah, it'll be a no try.
And denies her an ability to defend the play.
So
this
I
is
think
a penalty.
they were purely just reacting to what the on-field referee, Caroline Nolan, saw. And look, it's all for a great cause, particularly someone that has
penalty
played within
in
the
field of play or back on
NRLW.
10?
All
Yeah.
right.
Girls
well,
back here. Yeah, yep.
interesting
Girls
to
back
get
here,
your
Raiders,
thoughts on that.
penalty back here, back where the ruck was.
I understand both sides. I understand
Yeah.
both sides.
Everyone needs
They're
to be
down
peeled
by a
back
lot
behind that line
and
for
very
me.
early on in the game.
All right, I'm going to get out of the way.
So the Raiders get a penalty right in front of the post
Wait,
from
wait.
referee Nolan. It has been all the green
All right, go.
machine with 22 points scored in the opening 17 minutes of this encounter.
Give space.
It was the opportunity for the West Tigers to come back. Well,
You don't roll out there.
gee,
that's
we're
why.
seeing a lot of penalties in the
You've gotta
opening
roll out.
minutes of this game.
Yes, and that one, it's happened a few times where the players aren't clearing the ruck, and that's what the penalties have been for. But again, we're seeing that tap and go. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more subtlety on those taps. Maybe don't just send one player into the teeth of the defence. Get a bit of a foil happening for them. Fight for a quick play the ball that way.
So Raiders, their own side of the halfway line, looking for more points and getting up to play it back Bartlett. And then it went from Lutu to the fullback Nichols, who's already had an impact on this game. But she's brought down by the West Tigers defence in Tongatuki. And now Taufa over the halfway line. And every time she puts her head down, oh, hang on, I've put the mock on her. She's knocked it on.
She's come up with a little bit of a bobble here, Samaima Taufa. And they had a bit of a roll on. They've been doing it brilliantly, getting great post-contact meters. The Canberra Raiders, I think what the Tigers need to do is their line speed. They're sitting on their heels waiting for them and just taking that contact. They need to get up. But yeah, they do it so well, particularly in and behind the ruck. But a great opportunity for the Tigers to turn things around here.
It's been a very stop-start 5 minutes in this game as Lutu gets ready to feed the scrum for the West Tigers. And away we go once again as it comes out for Rassambali. It's a terrible pass. And Piliai Rasembali knocks it on. Well, I mean, that's why you guys are better up here in the broadcast box than in the coaching box.
Look, this is one thing. When it is windy like this, you must shorten up. You have to shorten up because the passes, especially passing into the western side, it's coming into the wind. So it is going to hold the ball up a little bit. Stand in a little tighter, make sure of it. I'm sure that Brett Kamali will be sending that message down to his charges over the walkie-talkies. But the Tigers, they're up against it, testing their defence yet again.
Here's Nichols, gets the pass to Wiki, and she goes straight to the winger in Bartlett. Bartlett's going to be taken and brought down by Staines, and then played to Wiki once again, Ash Quinlan. And then got the pass away to Soliola, and here come the Raiders once again with Shante Tamara. The great Grace Kemp is out there, and she goes straight over the top of P.O. and is brought down in the centre. They'll shift to the right once again, and Tamara has it. Got the pass away to Roberts. Retty! Just nowhere to stop, a couple of metres out from the West Tigers line. Then Tamara again, Grace Kemp will get a beautiful flick pass away, and over they go again, the Canberra Raiders. The impact of Grace Kemp as soon as she gets out there, and the Raiders go to 26-0.
Well, impact off the bench, Ruan Sims brought it up earlier. What a great player Grace Kemp is. We saw that in the Harvey Norman replay. We'll get another look at it here. When she hit contact, a lovely offload to her halfback. But great width, but also just have a look at the runners. Everyone knows where they're going, what angle they need to be at, and playing with great direction. I also think one of the standout things and the big difference between these two sides at the moment, Rue, is just the leg speed. The Raiders look like they've got so much energy, and they're just playing this game at a different pace at the moment.
They are, and a lot of their energy stems from they haven't had to do much defence. But on the flip side, they're generating their leg speed because they're running onto the ball. They're getting deep, they're finding their front, they're playing quickly off the back of it. But what stands out most to me there, just in that general play, is you can see that they understand what each other's strengths are. They played into Grace Kemp, and it was smart because the second rower from the right edge defence of the Tigers was under the post. They played at her, but then Zahara Temera swung around, was there for the offload because she knew that's what Grace had in her bag of tricks.
Now, Zahara Tamara attempts to convert her own try. And not a bad record today, all things considered. This is probably the first relatively easy one she's had. Here comes Tamara and makes no mistake, 28-0 Canberra. And West Tigers find themselves in that familiar position of getting us underway again. Vete Welsh holds the ball up, and Rasembali puts the kick up nice and high, bounces awkwardly. Oh, I'll tell you what, it almost went over the sideline. Alana Dummett did well to bring it back in field, but the defence was quick.
Yeah, she handled it really well, particularly given that she's looking into the sun as well. Clean things up for the Raiders.
Just wonder what the great Noddy Kamali has got prepared for his troops at half-time. Taufen now runs straight into Piliai Rasembali and is brought down by a fresh player out there, Natasha Penatani. We've got two Penatanis, the sisters both playing in the NRLW at the moment, which is great. And Hollyman now just her own side of the halfway line for the Green Machine, who have had all the ball and all the field possession too. This is Dodd driven back. Good defence there. Penatani involved. Last play, says the referee, and it comes back now for Tamara's kick. And this one's going to cause all sorts of headaches for Staines. It's going to end up in the in goal, but that breeze will get behind it, 30 kilometres plus, and send it over the dead ball line.
Yeah, they'll take this one, the Tigers. 20-metre tap. Up over the 30-metre line for the first play of the ball.
Now Horn gets into dummy half for the west side. I haven't seen any of her so far today.
Haven't really seen much of any of their attacking weapons yet, have we? They just haven't had opportunity. They've made errors coming through yardage. This is where their outside backs really need to get to work.
Sophie Curtin is out there already, and the pass goes to Lutu and then to Kezi Apps. Kezi takes it inside Raiders territory with the dummy half Curtin once again. Now P.O. offloads to George, swivels out of a tackle again. Then it's Taufa who brings it down. So they'll come out to the right for Piliai Rasambali, and then Penatani. Ash Quinlan got her around the legs. That's good defence from the Green Machine. Last play is Rasambali again from 28. Kicks it, straight into the arms of Nichols, but she dropped it, and it's picked up by Horn for the West Tigers, and out of absolutely nothing, they finally strike back.
Well, it's just a little kick that looked like it got big on Uppy Nichols last minute, didn't it? It just climbed on her a little bit and it caught the shoulder and she knocked it on. So they score 4 points, the Tigers here, off the back of a little bit of an error there by the Raiders. So the Harvey Norman replay will show they had the numbers there. Uppy Nichols was moving into position and Piliai Rasambale put the kick in, but it was good chase by the outside backs of the Tigers.
Yeah, it was a good chase, all off the back of a 7-tackle set. The Raiders, I think it was Zahara Temera, putting that kick in. It went a little bit too far, so already they had that better field position and territory. Their outside backs chipped in to get even better territory, and then, as you said, Rue, great kick chase from Rukia Horn. We haven't seen her much. Hopefully this gives the Tigers a little bit more confidence. We're getting a little bit closer to halftime. More Olympics references, hurdles.
Yep.
Didn't look as smooth as some of the Olympians do, but that's all right. It was a good crack.
Oh dear. So this is Piliai Rasambali to set up and well, they, you know, let's be fair to them. They need to go up in sixes, don't they? The West Tigers. It's been a horror start, and we've spoken over and over about that breeze behind the Raiders' back. But when you can turn it into 28 points, I mean, that's what you need to do when you've got a 30-kilometre breeze behind you.
Yeah, this is a really tricky kick. She's going to have to almost aim to the right of the right post because that wind's just coming so fiercely right across. So tricky kick for Piliai Rasambale, but an important 2 points to tack on to the end.
So from about 6 metres in from touch, off a simple error from Harpy Nichols for the Raiders. Now Piliai Rasambali. Here she comes. Anytime now will be fine. Move right in and kicks it with the right foot. This one's coming around. I tell you what, she took forever, but she's kicked it. Already, is it?
Just wait, Zahara.
Well, I hope you like your tries because we have had 6 tries already and we're nowhere near half time as the Raiders get us underway again, and it's taken by Vete Welsh on the full, who immediately gets a pass away, and the Green Machine, the Raiders defence, up there very quick on the West Tigers player in Renke. And then it goes across to Vete Welsh once again. On to P.O. P.O. will be brought down. Christian P.O. is 20 metres out from her own line. West Tigers, can they go for 2 in a row? Lutu right on their left side for Tafanga. So a dummy half back in field for Kezi Apps. And that's a good run from Apps up toward the halfway line for the former Bega Rooster. That's just what they need. And at a dummy half, it's Curtin. And you see Matua out there now for the Raiders. There's the kick from Piliai Rasambali. Nichols lets it bounce. It bounces awkwardly. She goes back and cleans it up and finds a little bit of space that closes quickly for
Sophie
her.
off the ball! Easton, white!
But 22 points the difference for the poor old West Tigers, with it all to do.
Give space, white markers!
And then played by Robbins Retty. Toward the halfway.
Natasha off the
With Natasha Penatani getting very heavily involved in defence for the West Tigers. Barnes and Taufer over the halfway line now and met by George and Christian Pio. So hard to put down every time, Samaima Taufer. Barnes goes on her own, sneaky around the ruck. And last place says the referee as Quinlan goes across for Samara. And she's Zahara Tamara, that's gone dead. So the breeze has gone hold of it again, and over she goes.
Well, the Tigers were able to use this last 7 tackle set to their advantage. I thought that Zahara Tamara would have learned a lesson and pulled that kick up a little bit, but it just goes to show how strong that wind is.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to give it that much height in that instance. It wasn't a contestable kick.
And Sophie Curtin getting into dummy half. West Tigers now with Crichton. Played back then to Curtin once again. Pio goes inside Raiders territory, and this game finally just sort of settles down a little bit. We're used to seeing a try every minute, is how it was going there for a while. As Pio goes back and plays it, will they work the left side of the field? Very stop-start. There we go. Curtin, then across to George, and then to Rasambali. Vetti is into some space. Vette Welsh gets up to go again, but stopped by the Raiders' defence. Then Curtin goes right side. The try scorer Horn is met by a big tackle. Last play, says referee Nolan. Back to Curtin, an awful pass for Piliai Rasambali. Up it goes. And taken beautifully by Zahara Tamara, who is in everything for this Raiders side at the moment. At the play the ball, Dummett, and then Robbins Retty. Earlier on today, good win for the Gold Coast Titans in Wollongong. Big road trip, they came away with the points. And out of dummy half, it's Tamara once again. Able to run about 10 metres before the defence of George brings it down.
Yeah, they need to clean that up, the Tigers. They can't afford to let the Raiders run at them. They need line speed. This is a bit better.
Well, there's an awkward pass. Referee's seen a knock on, so they've forced an error here, the West Tigers. Can they be next to score? Another one before half-time would be handy.
It'd certainly be handy. We saw in the last set, Bo Vette Welsh get the ball out here on the right edge and just use her footwork. I think she's definitely one of their strike weapons that they need to get heavily involved when they do have these attacking opportunities. It's also another side of the Tigers that we haven't seen the halves combine much. Lasana Lutu controlling the left edge and Piliai Rasambali taking control out here on the right.
Okay, Curtin, an awkward pass again, but Tafunga's got it. And we'll play it 10 in from touch.
Don't hold her in, don't hold her in!
So a dummy half, it comes back into Kezi Apps, and Apps takes it forward, turns, and won't get an offload away. Well, Kezi Apps has dropped it, but it's a strip. So West Tigers get a penalty. Lutu tries to put on the quick tap, and referee Nolan says we'll have none of that. So
Yeah, if she'd taken 2 steps back, she would have been able to get away with that one.
now Apps once again inside the 20. Blustery day in Campbelltown. The ice cream man has not shown up. He knows he'd have done no business today. Pio goes inside the 10. Taufer has hold of Christian Pio and brings her down right in front of the sticks. Then Sophie Curtin, Rasambali will go right side. Vette Welsh. Oh, the ball's been knocked down by Bartlett. It's been a knock. It's saved a try, but by golly, if she caught it, maybe she goes 90 metres.
Yeah, it was a good read by Madison Bartlett. She got right there in the passing lane. I think it was very well telegraphed that the footy was going to go there. Tell you what, I'm with you. If she had caught that, she could have been away there. But I still think that's the key. I still think Vette Welsh with the ball in her hands. There's the ice cream truck.
Oh, yeah. I'll have a
Tell you what,
double.
that would melt quickly, wouldn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't give it time. Double choc top with nuts, thank you, if anyone's going.
But the Tigers, they get another crack.
Now, Curtin goes to Lutu, and then it goes to Vete Welsh, and she tries to step inside Zahara Tamara. And she's going to play it about 8 metres out with Lutu in a dummy half once again. Then for Christian Pio. Pio might get there. Oh, she's over the line, but does she get the ball down? The referee says, I think she wants to have another look at it. Surely,
she doesn't think she has.
no.
I've got no try. Just confirm she's held up there.
Well, surely, Roo, there was enough green jumpers there.
It did look like it live. Looked like there was plenty of green jumpers underneath the football. And Pio, she believes she didn't get it close, so she's already brought it back to the 10-metre line, ready to play.
Yeah, it has.
Yep, okay. So a couple of minutes left in the first half. I have been told the ice cream man's doing most trade in hot coffee today, which makes sense. Just a horrible start for the poor old West Tigers here. As we look at this on the replay.
Great teamwork. 4 jerseys around the footy.
Yeah, no.
Definitely didn't
The
get
Always
ball
up off the
is
ground.
always up off the ground.
Yep.
Tigers are held up in goal.
So Pio goes back to the 10-metre line, no try.
Wait for the
She'll
screen.
play it to Sophie
Wait.
Curtin, and away we go again.
Hold, go.
Okay, here's Curtin, Renke, Grace Kemp, has got hold of her. And, oh, Curtin goes on her own. She caught them all napping, but Matua's got hold of her. Then George, Russambali, Vete Welsh gets the pass away to Horn. She scored their only try this afternoon. Last play with Vete Welsh at dummy half. Russambali, 10 out, puts a nice kick in. Up they go. It bounces up awkwardly. This might be a try. Who got there first is the question. I think it's been grounded by Alana Dummett. But we're going to go upstairs
Time off.
and have a little bit of a look.
Coming in to tackle 1, I've got no try. Just confirm the ball's grounded by Cameron in goal.
Yeah, I thought that's the way it played out, but a great kick, great crossfield kick by Pilea Rasambale.
Tigers kick shake is onside.
Now, of course, it went up as no try.
There's no touch at this point. We're playing through.
Comes off
The
the
ball
leg.
rebounds off the legs of the Tigers player.
And I think it's forced by Dummett.
Yeah.
Or does she knock it on in the field of play?
Just looking at all available angles to see who grounds this ball.
That's short of the try line there. And then she drags it across.
So, Rue's saying she's grounded it in the field of play.
The ball is grounded in goal by Canberra. Be a goal line dropout.
They have better angles than we do.
Indeed. 2 minutes left in the first half. And the Raiders with a goal line dropout.
Peel back, onside there.
Must have been one blade of grass
Yeah.
with a try line painted on it that touched that
If
football.
that, if
Behind
that.
that line. Behind that line.
Very,
Time
very
that line.
close.
Now, Zahara Tamara, the dropout is the good old traditional long style.
Off feet.
Stopped by Pio, who travels inside the 40. Defence up there very quickly. Back to the open for Renke, who's knocked that on, and all of a sudden this game's getting clumsy and awkward and stop-start.
Yeah, both teams have made a few little errors now. Obviously, it was all Tigers at the start, and then they've sort of managed to settle the ship a little bit. But now, again, in this weather, you just have to shorten your passes up. You have to make sure that they're hitting their mark every single time. You've got to give the passer a target. All of those little basics really are so important, especially in difficult conditions.
Now, Barnes, then Nichols, who's looked dangerous every time she's touched the ball today. Barnes, Wiki now down that left side, gets rid of one, and they number up on her, but by gee, she's hard to stop, just like a dear old dad.
She's been good today, hasn't she?
As she played to Barnes, and then back to Ash Quinlan, who got it away to Kemp, and Kemp got free and couldn't get the pass back, but they've only got 40 seconds left in this half. They won't want to let the green machine over again. Taufa, and then it comes across to Matua, who's going to play it about 9 metres out. For Taufa once again to put the head down and go for the try line. Does she get over and does she get it down? Well,
held up for
can you believe it? She's
10.
held up.
Wait.
And goes
Wait.
back to the 10
Wait.
with last play and just a few seconds left in this first half. Quinlan got the pass away to Wiki. Wiki will offload to Bartlett. Bartlett will step over Wiki and get over the line. Does she get it down?
Time off.
All right.
I'm just going to set it up no try, the way she blew the
I've got
whistle.
no try. Just confirm she's held up there.
So we're going to have to look at a head-on angle of this one, but again, much like the situation up the other end, there looked to be enough black jumpers in the way.
Yeah, they did. They did. And just the way Caroline Nolan blew the whistle, she's not convinced that the ball got down. But Mackenzie Wiki, again, just getting the arms free. She's so physical. Getting the offload away was incredible on its own. You know, there's definitely Tess Staines is over the top. Bovete Welsh is there as well. And Caroline Nolan was right on the spot.
After viewing all available angles, you lose sight of the ball. We'll be supporting the on-field decision of held up.
Okay, well, the Tigers will be saying, thank the good Lord. Raiders lead the game by 22, and that's about all we'll have for the first half, unless they can score a 90-metre try. As it's played back to Pilio. Russambali, well, they've nearly blown it. They've knocked it on with 4 seconds left on the clock.
They're not going to
Girls,
set
it's
that
on the
in
10.
And there's the
Siren's gone.
halftime siren in the background. Well, I got to tell you, the first 95% of that half was all the green machine.
Thanks, mate.
With a 30-kilometre breeze behind them. The Raiders lead the West Tigers at halftime by 28 points to 6.
Very.
West Tigers with it all to do. Raiders 28, Tigers 6. Now this time the Raiders, well, they have that big breeze in their face, and Alana's been down to the sideline, so could tell us firsthand what that was like.
It was actually insane. Insane. It would be so hard running against, never alone kicking against that wind. Brutal conditions.
Now the Raiders
Nevada off
with
the
a big
grid.
lead.
In space. Hold square, wait.
Taufa will get up and play it back. Barnes. Now Matua, we've seen her ruin defensive systems before.
Release the tackle.
10 her own side of the halfway line for the Raiders. Now they'll go across for pass to come out to Dodd, and Dodd goes to the halfway line. That's where she's brought down
In space.
by Kezi Apps. Taufa again, Matua, and Tamara. And then it'll go out to Ash Quinlan, who got it away to Wiki, and then Wiki found the wing, and it's Bartlett who stamps inside one, and then taken in a beautiful tackle by the West defence. Now back to Zahara Tamara once again to kick for Lutu, who is right under it. And the West Tigers have the ball, and she copped a little dose of Matua.
Oh,
as she
Robbins
went down.
Retty has maybe
Tackle
copped a
one
bit of
was started
friendly
with the ball.
fire
Yes, just
here.
incidental on the back of the leg here. Yeah, thanks, Goffy.
I hope she's all right. She is very physical out wide for the Raiders.
Here it is.
She gets caught and twisted underneath the tackle. Oh, yeah, that does look uncomfortable. She's making her way back out to the edge.
Well, she copped the full brunt of Matua
Just wait there, girls.
and Samaima Taufa as well. So we hope she's okay. Big NRL clash coming up this afternoon for the Dolphins. I'd just love to see the Dolphins finish in the 8. Where they go from there, I don't know. I think most rugby league fans, though, would just like to see the Dolphins finish in the top 8.
They have been impressive. They've come up with some good wins this year. And some tight ones. Oh, someone else has come reeling out of contact. Emma Barnes for the Raiders.
To Funga, to Curtin. And the West Tigers with 22 points to catch. As now George brings it up toward the halfway line. Grace Kemp's got it, but she got a lovely little pass away to Curtin, who then flicked it back, and they keep it alive here for Vete Welsh, who gets another pass away. Then it comes out for Kezzy Apps. It's awkward, but she manages to pick it up and keeps the arm free, but brought down by Dummett. So the Raiders scramble well there. Curtin up the left side to Lutu, steps inside one Lutu, and is caught eventually and brought down. It's tackle 5. Played to Curtin, where they go high. Christian Pio gets it away to George. George back to Vete Welsh. She will kick, but it's ineffective, really. And Robbins Retty, who's made a miracle recovery, comes back with the ball for the Green Machine.
Yeah, it was looking really promising from the Tigers, wasn't it? They had those 3 offloads. The first one from Nevada George to just get that second phase footy. They had a bit of forward momentum, but then looking a little bit unorganised in their attack to launch off the back of it.
So Mackenzie Wickie, we've already seen her wreak havoc in the first half of this game for the Canberra Raiders. And she gets up talking trash. Mona Lisa Soliola now. And back to the centre for Grace Kemp, who we've seen in the Origin series this year. The first of a 3-game Origin series in the women's game, wasn't it great? Barnes kicks through. Look at Ash Quinlan chasing through. Picked up by the West Tigers, though. Had that have bounced the other way, Ash Quinlan was there for the Raiders. Vete Welsh, and then for Staines. And penalty goes to the West Tigers.
This is a nice little leg out of trouble here for the Tigers. I think what I'd like to see in this second half from them is if they can be a little bit more direct in their attack. They're just sort of sliding a little bit, and they're allowing the Raiders defence just to slide off and number up easily.
Surprised they didn't kick that.
Oh, I actually think for that one, Pauline, you probably could have had the wind behind you.
Yeah, they decide on the tap and have it now just their own side of the halfway line. George, Lutu, then the pass goes to Vete Welsh, to Funga. The winger is Crichton. Another big name in rugby league involved in this NRLW game. Tufunga will go to dummy half for the West Tigers. Apps then, and Pio. So they've stopped the flow of points. That's the good news. George for Rasambali, and then Vete Welsh. Numbers out to the right. They get the ball out to Staines. Staines for the corner. A great defence from the Raiders to bring it down. That's the last 2, says referee Nolan. Back in field it comes. Rasambali, will she kick? She's going to get stuck with it on the last play.
A good urgency in defence from Samaima Taufa. She knew that Pilea Rasambale was their 5th tackle kicking option. Just took all control out of her hands. But they looked a little bit more dangerous that set, the Tigers. Particularly when Vete Welsh got the footy out there on that right edge. Great cut-out pass to her winger.
Now, at dummy half, it's Ash Quinlan. One wonders what Brett Kamali said to his troops at half-time.
I did see him coming back upstairs.
Was he fuming?
Didn't give me the grin he usually gives me, that's for sure.
Now this is Tamara, and then Dodd, almost to halfway, runs into George and Pio, and that's where she's going to play it on the last play for the Canberra Raiders. Taufa sends it back to Zahara Tamara once again, and look at poor old Staines. She just got caught directly in the sun there, and I mean I'd be kicking there all day, Rowan.
Well, that's your main go-to. But just with that wind coming across the grain, I'd be looking to punch that ball a little flatter, a little bit lower, and try and find the grass.
So they go to Vete Welsh once again. But the defence up the middle is pretty good through Kemp and Taufa. So Curtin, then Lutu got the pass away to Tufunga. They're just standing and passing now. It ends up with Crichton, and Harmony Crichton's going to be brought down.
Tackle 4,
And I think Harmony may be injured here.
I mean, not Shayel.
Whoever's on the bottom
2.
of that pile.
Harmony Crichton. Yeah.
No, here
That's
we've
fine.
got a HIA on
with
the
the ball,
side.
tackle
It's
4.
Emma Barnes
Yeah.
has been brought off.
Just wait to HIA.
Marley will keep us updated with what's going on there. But the Tigers, I just want to see a little bit more depth in attack. Maroon, you spoke about it. They're just tipping it on side to side. There's no depth. They're not challenging the defensive line of the Raiders.
It's really up to the two halves to shore that up, to make sure that their attack is direct.
Shante Tamara back out there now. Pio for the West Tigers. Last play. Curtin, George, and then Piliai Rasambali. They're going to let this one go into touch, just about 5 out from the Canberra Raiders line. It started this game at such a frantic pace, and we saw something like 4 tries in the opening 16 minutes. It's slowed down a little bit. Well, it's slowed down a lot, Alana, but they've just given the Raiders too much of a start.
Yeah, particularly when they've got the wind at their back, and just being down there at halftime, it has increased throughout the day. Some of those wind gusts are extremely strong, so they need to use that to their ability, and I think it's something the Raiders did particularly well to start this game off. They had great leg speed, but just the organisation and the direction in the Raiders seems to be far more superior than the Tigers at the moment.
Now, Matua. And that's good defence. Shante Tamara to Taufa. And they'll play it just their own side of halfway. On tackle 4 for the Canberra Raiders. No points from them in the second half at this stage. Gracie Kemp straight up the middle. Steps over one, brought down by George. Last tackle, says ref Nolan. And out now for Tamara to get the pass away. It comes out now to Nichols. Throws it behind the winger, Alana Dummett. Can she save it? Well, hang on. I think has the linesman ruled that went into touch? Surely not.
Last tackle.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see.
He gestured that it was knocked on by Dummett, just close to the sideline.
Now Lutu back forward to Funga. At dummy half is Curtin. It goes to Christian Pio. Let's go down to the sideline. Marley.
Yes, I've just had confirmation. We saw Emma Barnes come off a little earlier as the Tigers get a penalty there. She has a Category 2 head injury assessment after a trainer kept an eye on her after she came reeling out of a tackle. So she'll have about 13 minutes left now to pass that and return to this match.
Okay, hopefully she's okay. She's had a good impact off the bench as young Barnes.
Yeah, okay, wait.
So here they go again, the West Tigers through Christian Pio. And then to George, who seems to be much more involved in the second half of this game. Now's their chance. Curtin goes to Piliai Rasambali. Got the pass away. And great defence to bring Penatani down. We'll get up and play it back. Then it comes back in field. Will they kick? No, it's Renke who's stopped. There's only tackle 4 for the West Tigers as they go out of dummy half to George to that left side. Lutu gets it away to Fete Welsh. Tufunga, they've got numbers. Harmony Crichton, I think she's got over the line. Does she get it down? Well, that's a miracle in itself as she managed to stay in the field of play.
Coming in to tackle 5. I've got a no try. Can you confirm that she loses it over the goal line, please?
She did well even just to break through that first defender. Nevada George seems to be
Clear
the
all
key.
aspects up until this point.
Great balance.
Oh dear, what?
Tigers lose possession of the ball over the goal line.
What a shame. She got through all the hard work too. But Nevada George seems to be the key in the middle of the field. She's doing a lot of the first off ball playing so that they can attack those edges, and when they get it right, she's quite often in there.
It's quite surprising as well to note that when they move out to their right-hand side, so their left to right pass, they look a lot more crisp than when they go right to left, which is where the more dominant is the right to left pass. Just those last couple are just not quite going where they need to go.
Let's go down to you again, Marley. Have we got another HIA issue here?
Potentially. I've just got my eyes on Alana Dummett for the Raiders. She was involved in that tackle there to stop that try, and she grabbed her head straight away. She's been down, and she's got blood coming from her nose as well. So the trainer's seeing to her now. I'll keep you updated if there is a HIA.
Okay, thank you. Canberra Raiders, 20-metre restart after Harmony Crichton did so well to get across the line. They just couldn't get the ball down. I was amazed she stayed in the field of play.
No, we need one more. We've only got 12.
All right. We've got referee Nolan doing a quick head count. 12 for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And
Come
so
on.
Matua is about to come back on. And so Raiders with the ball, they still hold that handy lead that they held at half-time by 28 points to 6.
Christian off the arm!
Getting up to play it now will be the winger Bartlett and Taufa. Almost to the halfway line. And then Shante Tamara to Grace Kemp. Good defence again from the younger of the Penatani sisters. Oh, got a penalty. She just went a little bit too far in the defence there.
Yeah, she got all tangled up with the ball on Grace Kemp there, and unfortunately, as she went to play it, it came spewing out, hence the penalty. But now the Raiders in good field position. As I mentioned earlier, their left to right has been a lot more crisp, so we'll see what they can produce here in this set of 6.
Let's have a look at it as Soliola takes it forward. That's a good run from Mona Lisa Soliola. She's pulled up just inside the 10 with Shante Tamara. She's going to go to Grace Kemp this time. They'll keep working it out to the right side. It comes out now to Matua. Matua will get rid of Tafonga and flicks one back into Nichols. What a lovely pass. Ah, it's gone forward. Well, it wasn't really a lovely pass, but it would have been if it connected.
It would have been if it connected, but great defence from Tafunga as well, just to shut that threat of Matua down. She can be such a strong ball runner. But she did enough. Use that sideline as another defensive player. And it just makes those passes, they're miracle passes when they pull off, but that was the pressure from the Tigers' defence that made sure that didn't lead to points.
Sala Tongatuki is just prowling the sideline for the Tigers, getting ready to inject herself back into the game.
So, just as this game's kind of quietened down a little bit, Rue, we spoke earlier about Grace Kemp and her origin. And this is a girl that played Origin, and she's only been playing rugby league for a few seasons.
Yeah, only rugby league for a couple of, one-on-one, let's play on.
Which is an amazing feat in itself.
Yeah, but she's played at Wallaroos. She's a very, very talented young football player.
Now, at dummy half, it comes back in field to Katoka Toka, and then Kemp, and then it comes back across now. It comes out for Dodd, and Dodd tries to straighten up, but she's met. This defence is better, this half for the West Tigers, but maybe the Raiders can go in here and perhaps put this one to bed. Zahara Tamara, and then it goes from Quinlan out to Bartlett. Bartlett's got support from Wiki. They won't stop her from there, or do they? Does she get the ball down?
Come off.
I think she stopped her.
Amazing.
Goffy, I've got a no try coming in the
That might be the tackle of the year, and I know we're only in round 1.
That was a huge effort.
We like setting lofty bars early here, Maroon. But gee, she got right up under the ball. Wiki was in for all money. She's held her up.
The ball's up at this stage. We're still playing through, looking at all of our angles.
Wiki is a strong ball runner too. That's a brilliant defensive effort.
Magnificent.
We're sticking with the on-field decision of held up.
Yeah, that was a great tackle. That was, I don't know what Noddy said to him at half-time, but that's the grit they need in defence.
Well, that's one way to inspire your teammates, to build their performances off the back of defensive efforts like that.
Now Quinlan into camp and shrugs one off, brought down, just a couple of metres out. As it goes across to Zahara Tamara. Nichols has it now, weaves her way through the traffic, and again they number up the West Tigers to stop her right on the try line. Tackle 5, says the referee. Shante Tamara. Zahara Tamara puts a kick in, and it's taken in the in-goal area by Piliai Rasambali.
That was a brilliant kick. Beautifully weighted. She threaded that so well. She identified that the fullback was out of position. And the chase. The chase is what makes it. You can have a great kick, but if you don't have the chase coming there, you're in all sorts of trouble. Starting to mount some pressure here, the Green Machine.
Yeah, they are, and it was a great defensive set from the Tigers. But as you mentioned, Zahara Tamara, a great kick, building pressure. That's what this game's all about. Just keep piling on that pressure, and the cracks will appear.
So there's the kick from Rasembali. Ooh, sits up into the arms of Zahara Tamara. Taufa now charged onto that ball. And brought down in a good tackle there by Kezi Apps. As she plays it back now to Shante Tamara. Zahara now, Matua gets out of one tackle. Always hard to stop. Back in field, Shante. And then it comes across now to Katoka Toka. Grace Kemp goes inside and gets an offload back. It's picked up by the fullback. Nichols sends the ball across to Bartlett, and that's great stuff. Hot potato football, and the Raiders go to the 30s.
Yeah, great work from the fullback, Api Nichols, just to get that pass away nice and early. If she had held on to it, could have been a different story. Another little try celebration from Madison Bartlett. We see here on the Harvey Norman replay, just the ability of the Raiders to keep the footy alive. Matua out there on that right edge can be so damaging, but look at the numbers, the green jumpers just constantly moving their feet, supporting. The pass wasn't perfect, but Api Nichols, with her vision, she had players out there, but she certainly got the footy to the right player in Madison Bartlett, executed the pass perfectly, but they're staying alive, they're working for one another. It's exactly why they were able to execute it and turn it into a try.
I just like the way they moved the defensive line edge to edge. They really tested them out. They dug in, drew in some defenders, got an offload, worked to one edge, came back to the middle, squared off, got an offload, worked to the other edge. For that last pass by Nichols, the fact that she was confident enough just to throw the pass, knowing that her winger was going to run onto it, that's what made that a thing of beauty.
So now we see Zahara Tamara with the ball being held on the tee because of this breeze. If you've just joined us, 12 points already today for Zahara Tamara. She's been crucial for this Raiders side, who now lead the game by 32 points to 6. And as we said earlier, though, these wingers aren't making them easy for her. She moves in, and that one's just not going to have the distance, the direction. It's not going to have anything. Raiders 32, Tigers 6. We've got about 19 minutes left in this game. Big game coming up next too, local derby. Titans and the Dolphins. And the Dolphins trying to make the 8. Titans have a real good chance of stopping that from happening. So that's a good game this afternoon following this game live on 9.
Tell you what else is interesting with that game. The Dolphins, Maroon, you mentioned, hopefully playing finals footy. The Broncos' chances don't look so good. So that fight-off for Suncorp being home's a fascinating one, isn't it?
Yeah, so do you think a lot of Brisbane people are going to go, oh, we're Dolphins fans now?
No chance. I just love the niggle. Rugby league.
It's all about the niggle. Oh, Taufa's made a mess of that. Absolutely. Knocked it on, knocked it back, and then sent it over the dead ball line.
She made a bit of a meal of it. An uncharacteristic error from Samaima Taufa. Watch her get to work and make up for it, though. That's a great opportunity, though, for the Tigers.
Well, they're just playing for pride now, I guess. With Tamara's goes for the short drop out. There's a bit of space out there too. It just bounces the wrong way, and Piliai Rasambali has it for the west side. As it's played back now for the ball to come back in field to Tonga Tuki. Tongatuki gets a little offload, but who's there? A Canberra Raiders player.
Well, and exactly right, because the Tigers players were so far back. They're so worried about the next play. The urgency, it wasn't there. You need support around the ball at all times. They were those couple of steps too far back, and the Raiders, they just wanted that little bit more.
Soliola. And a dummy half from Tamara to get the pass in field to Sophie Hollyman. Then Shante Tamara to Samaima Taufa. They go inside West's territory on tackle 5. The kick will come, I would say, from Zahara Tamara into the sun once again, and poor old Staines makes a mess of it, and it goes over the sideline.
Play the ball. Yep, here.
Be a Tigers ball. She didn't play at that one, so they managed to get out of trouble here, the Tigers, and now they've still got to travel 70 metres to get back into some attacking football.
All these innovations we have in rugby league, when are we going to allow the fullbacks to wear some special sunglasses when the sun is beating down like this? Then it comes across to Vete Welsh, and she'll be tackled 10 her own side of the halfway line. Just has not been their afternoon, the West Tigers, right from the word go, really. Horn was the try scorer, that's her now. And then from dummy half, it goes from Curtin across to Tongatuki. Good defence, the Canberra side. For George.
This is better from the Tigers.
Now,
That's a knock-on.
just, well, you've put the mock on them.
Yeah, well, the running was good. Unfortunately, these errors, it's just been something that's been happening consistently. I think she's probably challenged it. She did knock it on, but she might be challenging that there is a Raiders.
Tigers are
in
challenging
play
the
ball.
on-field decision of loss in the ruck.
Okay, captain's challenge here from the West Tigers. Let's have a good look at this. Let's put this one under the microscope. They've got nothing to lose. So just when Rowan Sims was saying they're starting to look better, there's a play the ball, and that's just a simple knock-on, isn't it?
They might be challenging that the Raiders player is interfering in the ruck.
Just looking to determine if this is a knock-on or ruck interference by the Canberra defenders. Both Canberra defenders are lying in the ruck and impact the ability of the dummy half to pick up the ball. The challenge is successful.
Well, that's why you're on the big bucks, Rowan. That's why you're on the big bucks, because you got it right again.
Well, she knew she knocked it on, so that could be the only thing that they would be saying contributed to that knock-on.
Tongatuki. We'll play it back now for Noor. George Lutu gets it away to Vete Welsh. She tried to pass it, but Matua hit her like a steam train. And the penalty goes to the West Tigers. Vete Welsh goes for the quick tap. Why not? Zigzags, met by some good online defence and brought down. About 10 in from touch. Noor at dummy half for Kezi Apps. You hear the scream there from referee Nolan. Noor. Then an awkward pass is picked up by Pilier Rasambali, who's stopped by the Raiders defence right in front of the post. Can they get a couple of tries before full time, just to put a little something, some respectability in what has been an ordinary day for the Tigers? It comes out now for Tafunga to come back in field. Tafunga gets away from one another, and they number up again to stop it from scoring right under the try line. Great scramble.
Look at their numbers out to the right, though. They have got them absolutely stripped.
They're going to head out there now. Rasambali got it away to Vete Welsh. Vete Welsh gets away from one, reaches out, and Vete Welsh scores, well, a deserved try for the fullback.
There was a couple of opportunities there where they just punched it into the middle under the sticks, tried to draw that defensive line in. They had to collapse the Raiders, and they did really well. It was a huge right edge shift on the Harvey Norman replay. This is the setup play. Tafunga coming back against the grain. She does really well here. Now the cue for when you need to go out the back is when you see the second rower under the sticks. She made that tackle. So that then means there is numbers out the back there. And geez, Bovete Welsh, she does very well there. A few bodies in front of her, but she still finds the try line.
Yeah, she did good just to take on the opposition half. She stood up Ash Quinlan, and then that inside support wasn't there quick enough, but wasn't Tafunga good in the lead up? She's a strike weapon for them. I don't know that she's been used enough, but what a powerful outside back, and a great decision, I thought, from both the dummy half and Pilea Rasembale, just to unleash the ball out to that right edge nice and quickly where they had the overlap. And Vede Welsh, well, she knew what to do with it.
So Rasembale now to try and add the extras. Pauline Piliai Rasembale. She's only had to kick the one today. She'd like to have been a little bit busier. And about 10 in from touch. And it comes, what do you know? It's come off the tee. We've seen a lot of that this afternoon at Campbelltown. So now we're going to see Salma Noor, run 70 metres to hold the football for her. So the ball's been held by Salma Noor, and Piliai Rasembale will go to add the extras in what has been a try-scoring fest in the end. Second try for the West Tigers, but we've seen, what, 8 tries in all this afternoon. And the Raiders will go back down the Hume Highway with the points. And that'll please their coach, Darren Borthwick, no end. So now, Pauline Piliai Rasembale. Fair dinkum, you'd think she was kicking for the match. She moves in and hits it, and I think she's kicked it. Tell you what, she's kicked 2 out of 2 today, so Raiders 32 lead the Tigers 12 with just on about 12 and a half to go in the game.
Yeah, we've started to see some really positive signs out of the Tigers this half. They turned up defensively, they were getting in front, they were taking a bit more space off the Raiders, so their playmakers had less opportunity to scheme and find their way around. But this here, the kickoff, this has happened a couple of times in the first half to the Raiders. Now let's see how the Tigers handle receiving it into that very strong sun.
Okay, the 2024 Telstra Women's Premiership has returned, and you can see it's better than ever. Don't miss a second of the action as 10 teams compete over 9 epic rounds of action-packed footy. Secure your seats at NRL.com/tickets. NRLW, it's unmissable. West Tigers now, they trail by 20, but they have the football. That's the good news. It's played back to Noor. It's given to Lutu. Then it comes out to Kezi Apps, who tries to step inside Matua. And then they'll go to, that pass looked marginally forward for mine. And Lutu comes back up toward the halfway line. Then the starting hooker, Noor, got the pass away. George will play it as it comes back now for Piliai Rasembale to put the pressure on Bartlett, who has absolutely no dramas whatsoever, taking that, putting the fend on one, and then bringing it back to the centre of the play. Robbins Retty, who we haven't seen a lot of in the second half, brought down now for the Canberra Raiders. Bartlett, back three's been good for Canberra today.
Yeah, they pitch in when they need to. It's good defence from the Tigers.
Now it's Hollyman. Then Samaima Taufa. Tackle 5. They find themselves just their own side of the halfway. This will go to Zahara Tamara, who puts the kick into the sun again for Staines, and this time she does so well. Tess Staines to hang on to it, and then goes out to the right side of the field. Girl from Wagga Wagga, real rugby league territory. Some say AFL territory. I say rugby league territory, Wagga. Now Horn.
They look a little bit tired now, the Tigers, a bit bunched. Sending one off. That was a strong run.
That's a good run, isn't it?
Great run. Great run.
Getting up to play it back. It comes across now for George, and George will be met by Zahara Tamara, and so too involved in the tackle was Dodd, but she got it away to Lutu, and Lutu is stepping back in field and straightening up, causing a little zigzag, and brought down eventually though by Hollyman was the tackler. Nor Vete Welsh shows it, goes on her own, can't create the line break. Last tackle, says referee Nolan. And Nor is there again. They keep it left. It ends up with Lutu. The kick is taken beautifully by Tamara, who read it perfectly.
That wasn't the kick. That wasn't the kick for that one. They tried to attack that short edge with the Raids, but the numbers were there for the Raiders, and they're in good position to take that one.
Now Matua plays it back. And it's the winger once again, or in fact it's Robbins Retty playing it back. And then Dodd goes straight into Pio. Still got time for points in this Raiders side. They've only scored the one try in this second half of the game. As Kelly Signs is met by very strong defence there from the Fresh West Tigers player in Talatana. The kick from Zahara Tamara goes behind Staines this time. Did she play at that? And it's gone into touch.
Tigers play the ball between lines.
No, she's obviously hasn't touched it. So West Tigers ball.
That one wrong-footed her, didn't it? As it came off the boot, it travelled in a funny little direction. The wind took a hold of it, and Tess Staines luckily didn't play at it, which means the Tigers get the ball back here. Just watch it on replay. Quicking across the body.
Well, thankfully she didn't play at it. Let's go down to you on the sideline, Marley.
Yes, we just had an update. Emma Barnes, who came off for a HIA a little bit earlier, did pass. We saw Alana Dummett from the Raiders also come off with a bloodied nose. It was a Category 2 head injury assessment she had too, and she has a few minutes remaining. Even if she does pass, I doubt we'll see her for the rest of this match.
Okay, ball is played back, and the ball goes to the right side of the field. It ends up with Rasambali. And now the West Tigers looking for a try or two to end this game. Inside the final 8 minutes we go. Back to Tongatuki, and the pass goes to Pio. Pio ricochets out of a tackle, then gets the pass to Apps. Apps to Tufunga. Tufunga is going to be taken by Matua and brought down. So they're about 20 metres out as Vete Welsh gets into dummy half on tackle 5. Lutu kicks out right side. Is anybody home out there? Bartlett lets it bounce, and it bounces again. It's just going to go touch in goal.
Well, they just look like they've got a lot of fatigue in them at the moment. The Tigers, that kick chase, Tess Staines, and it wasn't just Tess Staines. The other 3 or 4 Tigers on the inside, their kick chase was a little bit off. But there's just so much fatigue in that Tigers side.
Now Robbins Retty once again, remembering of course big game coming up this afternoon. Titans, Dolphins, the local derby. Dolphins looking for their first year in the 8, only 2 years into the NRL, so it's not bad effort as Hollyman is tackled, just their own side of the halfway line. Now comes out to Kelly Signs. A good front row, this Raiders side. Good starting pack. As it goes to Zahara Tamara, and to the left, Ash Quinlan gets the pass away then on the Whitney. She's free again. She's brought down by Horn. And I think she may be injured here, young Mackenzie Wickie. She struggles to get to her feet. Back to Ash Quinlan again, and Zahara Tamara for Hollyman. And then brought down by Pio. Last one in this set for the Canberra Raiders. Can they go out with a bang? Ash Quinlan sends one out to Mackenzie Wickie, and she's taken beautifully, ball and all. Well, they've learned as the game's gone on to keep a real eye on her.
Yeah, they've done a really good job there, the Tigers. Great vision, but also just the execution of that tackle out there on the right edge. But you're right, they've changed the way that they're defending them. The halves for the Raiders quite often link up in Tamara and Ash Quinlan, and they've just done a good job at readjusting their defence a little bit so that they're not as dangerous, particularly on that left edge.
Tufunga will play it back to Noor. And then it comes out for, intercept. Here we go. Zahara Tamara with an intercept. She got the pass away to Robbins-Retty. I don't know that she needed to pass that. And then eventually it's picked up by Harmony Crichton, who gets cleaned up by the defensive Tamara.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
The touchies just gestured that there has been a knock-on here. It was a great chase by Kezzy Apps.
Yeah.
And Robbins-Retty
Getting on
on
Robbins-Retty. Yeah, she hasn't. Kezzy Apps is having cramps. Robbins-Retty is in some pain. That was all legal, nothing wrong with it. But that was desperation there by the captain.
Great work. She's got through a ton of work, Kezzy Apps. A ton of work, quite often taking that first contact, so the brunt of a lot of those hits, and just never stops working hard for her team.
What about the hit
Boy,
from the
that
inside?
was so good.
That was a good shot of it too.
Love it.
Oh,
Love
we're
it.
going to have to see an interchange here for Robbins-Retty. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, Robbins-Retty, they're favouring the left knee. Just going to have another look at this hit here, girls.
Oh, I love that. Zahara Tamara coming in with the big right shoulder.
Hey, book your ticket for the ultimate bucket list trip to Las Vegas. Be there to experience all the action and excitement live at Allegiant Stadium. Next year's going to be bigger, bolder and better. 8 teams and 4 games for just one epic ticket. Tickets and travel packages on sale now. NRL.com/Vegas. Rugby League Las Vegas. Let's go.
Oh, I like what you did there, Maroon. It's
Look
right
at-
up my alley.
Did you go this year?
No,
I didn't
wish.
either. Then I got real fear of missing. I'm
I was
going
very
next time.
close. I was very close.
I'm going if I got to pay for myself to go. West Tigers scrappy out of that, and the pass has gone forward. Has it to Pilio Rasambali.
Where do you want the
I
scrum?
think a lot of people are with you on that
Yeah.
Vegas bandwagon. They heard how good it was. My mum and dad are prime examples of that. They've jumped on the bandwagon, got a ticket.
I mean-
Sharkies are going over. The Raiders are going over.
Yeah, and a Super League game, which will be great.
Well, it's great to just to get that side of the world over there as well, isn't it? It's only, what is it, like a 10-hour flight for England, so it's a pretty quick trip. The Gillaroos are playing
Oh, that's
the
going to be
English women.
that's a great one, I think. Gillaroos versus the English women's side.
Oh, good.
Give
I
the
mean-
Americans a taste of women's rugby league.
Well, and I think this time they're on free-to-air telly in America too. That's the way to grow the game. So they've done it brilliantly.
Yeah.
Peter
Vegas,
Volandis,
he's done a wonderful job.
hasn't he ever? Andrew Abdo, great job.
Ball is played there to Dodd for it, and Dodd's going to be pulled down about 15 metres out. Played then for Shante Tamara. It went to Samaima Taufa. She's looking for another try. But good defence to bring it down. They've really, well, to state the obvious, really worked on their defence in the second half, this West Tigers side, as it goes out to Ash Quinlan, and she runs into some wonderful defence there from McGlone, who brings it down, and then it comes out for Zahara Tamara, back in field for Matua. She's dropped it, and it's been picked up, and West Tigers on the run now as the number 17, Talatena, is met by the 17 for the Raiders in Nika Toka Toka, but the referee's seen a knock on, so Raiders will have the ball back in the final 3 minutes of this game.
Strong defence for the Raiders to recover from
Goffey
that.
coming into tackle 0. On-field ruling is a knock-on Tigers.
So another captain's challenge, and another opportunity for us to bang on about how much we want to go to Vegas. Can't wait.
Well, no, Toka Toka plays at the ball, but then that will be a knock-on against the Tigers.
Just looking at all available angles to determine whether this is a strip or knock on and how many players are in the tackle.
There's one in the tackle. She strips it, but then it comes off the hand last, I believe, of the Tigers.
So what are you saying, Roo? Because you've been getting them right all day. You are on a roll.
No, I don't know about that, but I think it's a one-on-one strip. She strips at it, but then the last touch comes forward off the Tigers.
The Canberra 17 strips the
There.
ball one-on-one. This then creates a double knock-on on the ground with Canberra knock-on first. The challenge is successful.
So West Tigers finally have something go their
Yeah,
way.
knock on. Tigers around here. We are, girls. Yeah. All right, clock on.
So the Tigers Raiders will form a scrum just on 30 metres out from the West Tigers line.
Heads in, Happy, get in, get in. All right, clock off, fall in, hold.
And
Break.
from it, Curtin comes out with the ball. And West Tigers' last throw of the dice to get points before the game ends. Curtin again, into Tongatuki, up toward the halfway line. 20 points the difference. And then back toward the centre for Palataina. Just inside Raiders' end. It'll go to Pio. She'll get the pass away to Piliai Rasambali, who's met by Hollyman. And it's the fourth tackle for the West Tigers. Then Lutu, she gets the offload away. Comes back to Curtin, ends up in the hands of Pio. Pio's got numbers out to her left, but pulled down by Kelly Signs. Last play for the West Tigers. Curtin out of dummy half, goes on her own, then throws a very, very ordinary pass, which is cleaned up by Hollyman, and the Raiders, it would seem, might just finish the game with the football. As they take the tackle, and getting up to play it back is Mackenzie Wiki, who has impressed absolutely everybody today. Then out of dummy half, they bring it up with some good yards from the fullback Nichols. And then this is Bartlett.
You know what, there's been a couple of dicey play the balls in this set of six.
And Tamara. And then Hollyman brought down on the last play. It'll be Shante Tamara to Zahara Tamara, into the sun again. Staines takes it beautifully, and she'll play it just her own side of the halfway line. Then for Horn. Just really going through the motions now, these two sides. As Vete Welsh brings it forward, she's met by Shante Tamara. And it'll come across now for Tongatuki. Or is there a final try? Now we go to Lutu, Kezi Apps. And this is the last play. Haven't really done much with it this set. To the left, they shift for Lutu to put a kick in. Met this time by the fullback, Nichols.
Yeah, really well read defensively from the Raiders that set. I think it's probably one of the biggest work-ons for me for the Tigers this second half. They certainly fixed up a lot of their defensive efforts and the way they've been combining and working there. But some of the combinations in attack, the direction, the intent from the Tigers, that's probably their biggest work-on.
Last couple of plays of the game. And this young number 17, Naika Toka, she was presented her jumper by fellow Fijian, the great Noah Nandruku, through the week for her debut, which was lovely. This will be just about it as the winger Bartlett gets up to play it. Full-time siren goes in the background, and that's all we have for this one. The Canberra Raiders go back down the Hume Highway with a good win over the Tigers by 32 points to 12. Thank you so much for watching the NRLW, and we'll see you again next week.